Hey everyone, welcome to another YouTube video. I'm your host, Spidercides, and for today's video, I'm giving an in-depth look with my latest design, Peacemaker. I'm going to go through all of the armor pieces and shaders that I would personally recommend, and I'll provide some alternatives. Now, when it comes to Peacemaker, the character is very hard to replicate in Destiny 2, so it's not going to be exact, but I think the way I actually achieved this design is pretty good. Now, without a color wheel or without a way to shade specific parts of each armor piece, it's not going to be perfect, but I will provide some alternatives. And after watching the video, let me know what you think. I actually want to know in the comments, what you think below. If there's other pieces that you would personally recommend, let me know. Let's help everyone try to achieve this look in case they want to look like Peacemaker in Destiny 2. Now, before we continue, be sure to, subscribe for more content. If you like what you see, hit that like or dislike button so that way I know if you like this character design, and follow me on my other social media jazz like Twitter, TikTok, you know what to do. Now, let's get started with Peacemaker. When it comes to the helmet, I went with the Precious Scars Exotic. Now, to me, it looks like a toilet on his head, which is essentially what the character is all about in the comics and TV series. Now, I combine it with the Gambit Chrome shader. It looks like steel. It's two different shades. It looks really good in my opinion. Now, you could go with the Celestial Dome shader. It darkens it up a bit and won't look as shiny, but in my opinion, it can be a very good alternative if you choose to. For the gauntlets, I'm going to be honest, these are the only ones that I would personally recommend, the Contender gauntlets. And the reason for this, it kind of looks muscular, let's face it, John Cena is a big dude, and I wanted to make it look as muscular as possible and something that actually worked well with the chest piece. And obviously, by following the same outfit with the Contender outfit, I went with the chest piece there, so that way it just mixes well with each other and shades well. Now, I went with the red jacked for the arms, to get that red. I was trying my hardest to get blue here, and the only other one that really achieved that was the Atlantic Rush. So I'm going to try to find it here. Bear with me. There's so many shaders in this game. There it is. So this one, it can work. I just didn't like how the red wasn't matching it. And I tried so many red shaders, and there was nothing that would actually blend well with this. So in case you like this and you want a little bit of blue, you could go with that option. But I'm going to be quite honest, I just preferred this style. Now for the chest armor, I stuck with the red jacked as well. And again, the Contender plate is what I went with. There's no other one that I would recommend. I'm going to be honest. When it comes to the outfits in the game, you could switch things up if you really wanted to with something like this. But it just doesn't look like a shirt anymore. It looked a little weird in my opinion. So I wanted something that just blended a little bit better. So, let me know what you think. These are the two pieces that just made it very difficult. Now for the leg armor, I love this one. Like this one here is easily one of the best pieces in the game, and it shades really well with the Crackle Brass. Now, I wanted something that was very like off-white for the pants and then shaded the shoes blue. So this is what I went with. You could switch things up. I know some people go for like a monochromatic type of style. So if we take a look here, you could go with something like this where it's whiter here and then it shades the shoes black, but it doesn't really signify what the character like actually wears. So this is the only one that I personally found that works, but you can play around. You can choose what you want at the end of the day. I've seen a lot of people make Peacemaker designs where these pants are white, the shoes are a different color, so you can go with whichever one. When it comes to the legs though, this is the only one that I would personally recommend. I know I've seen people use the Lux Treads, but it just doesn't shade well. Even with the monochromatic, as you can see here, it's just going to shade everything black. So it's going to be very difficult to find something, so stick with the Ringwalker Greaves, so that way you have a nice outfit that looks muscular at the legs and at the arms, and everything flows. Now for the mark, I went with the Midnight Oil mark. The reason for it is so that way it kind of looks like the one he has in the show. All of these rectangles, all of these pockets, around his belt area, I think looks great. And I feel like everyone has this shader, the new Pacific Sync shader. If you don't, which I would be surprised, I'm going to be honest with you, you could go with the Glacial Whisper. Now, it looks pretty much the same. The goal is to make this blue. The reason I went with the other one though is because that way it just blends well with the shoes. So everything just, again, it's all about flowing. It's all about the colors mixing well with each other, and obviously all of the pieces. We want everything to work as precise as we can. Now, another option that I forgot to mention is the gauntlets. You could go with one of these new shaders in the game. I'm just going to bring it up to the front, and it does add a little bit of a blue. It's going to be totally up to you at the end of the day, but let's take a look here. I'm just going to try to find it. There it is, the hazard pay. So this is one of the new shaders. As you can see, it does a little bit of blue, but then the red is not going to look exact. You'll actually have to change the chest piece shader now to, the closest I found was rose scale. So this could work. I just felt like I wanted more red. I wanted it to be brighter like in the TV series. So totally up to you of what you would want to go with. Now, in case you don't want to use this exotic, there is one other option that I would recommend. So I'm just going to put a random helmet. And then I'm going to change it up to right over here. I'm not even going to pretend or try to even say this helmet name. So I'm not going to pretend I know how. So I'm just going to walk it off and let you guys read it. Now, for the shader, we can go with the Celestial Dome, or you can go with the Gambit Chrome. Up to you. I kind of like the Gambit Chrome because it's like a lot shinier and it just, you know, it's up there. But again, you can do whatever you want. You can even do this one here and it still looks great. So this is an option in case you don't want to go with that exotic. I kind of like that one because it looks more of a toilet on a head. Now, when it comes to this here, it's just fully stainless, right? There's not a 2-layer, so it doesn't look like this is on top of his head. It looks like this is his actual head. So hopefully that makes sense. I would stick with the exotic. I feel like it's, you know, it still looks great. It still does justice. Now, let me know what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you sticking around if you're here. You know, it means a lot to me. I do a lot of these videos and I want to keep producing the best Destiny 2 fashion videos as I can. And, you know, and set a mark that, you know, I do over, you know, hundreds of designs now on so many different characters. So if there's a specific character you haven't seen before and you want me to try out, let me know. Be sure to hit that like or dislike button so that way I know what you think. Leave a comment below. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and check out my website, d2transmog.com. And as always, I'll see you next time.